Take Citi Field for Game 3 of the World Series tomorrow night. Fans will hear the voice of a young woman from Queens playing in the stadium.
She recorded a song for slugger Yoenis Cespedes, and now it plays every time he walks to the plate. Amy Freeze spoke to the singer.
That's where she met outfielder Yoenis Cespedes.
Now you say that ain't true. I'm not blind.
From si sabe cómo me pongo, pa' que me invito, dicen que yo soy la más mala, no soy la peor, pero al menos sigo siendo yo. Quiero ver, pa' que este culo te denota, estoy mojadita y tú eres bandido. Triste, ahora soy yo que te encoge a ti de chiste, me tomo un shot y río de lo que di.
What's the deal? It's your boy Ahmed, man. We said, you know why I'm at, you know what it is, Powers Industry, home of new music and entertainment. I am here today, friend, you know what I mean? Back in the day, has now aspired to become an artist. You guys know I don't really do the unsigned artist stuff, but she's making some headway, opened up for the Mets, Yankees, all of that, she's changing ball players' lives and all that, man.
The walkout song too, don't forget that one.
Give it up for my girl Fina. What's up?
How are you, man? Thank you so much for having me on this show. I'm very excited to be here.
I'm glad. So listen, you Dominican, right?
No. Of course I am Dominican.
You sure?
Yeah, I'm Dominican.
I don't know. You could have been. I didn't know all these years. I didn't know he was Brazilian, Dominican.
Oh, Lord, not the
I mean?
Brazilian again. I get this all the time. No, I'm Dominican.
All right. Yeah. So let me ask you, what is your real name?
Josephina.
Josephina what?
Sola. Yeah, like the first single.
So your last name is Sola?
Yeah.
Are you only child?
No, I'm the youngest.
You're the baby.
I'm the baby. I'm the only one that
matters.
matters.
How many? Wow.
There's 3 of us in total.
Wow, we just giving shade to the family.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question. How'd you first get into music?
So I started singing at 3 years old. When I was 12, I remember telling my mom, I want to sing. And then she started noticing, I really meant business because I started bringing, remember Backstage, the newspaper? So I used to bring it Backstage, and I'm like, look, there's a talent show here. There's a talent show there. There's an audition here. Take me here. And she was just rolling all around everywhere, just trying to get an opportunity. I remember then I had some guy from Atlantic Records that my mom knew back then that was she's super young. But if she keeps pushing, she'll get there to a certain level. She just has to keep pushing. She has to get a coach. So he got me Craig Derry at the time. Do you ever heard of Craig Derry?
Mm-hmm.
So I went to Craig Derry.
We should explain who Craig Derry is.
Oh.
The viewers may not, right?
Yeah, the viewers may not. Craig Derry is a celebrity vocal coach. He's done everybody from Mark Anthony to Mary J. Blige, La India, Ashanti, many, 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 many more. I mean, his list goes on and on and on. He's super old school. And he used to have this program called the boot camp, the vocal boot camp. So I started doing that. When I went into the vocal boot camp, it started kind of opening up my eyes to other singers, other people, and that's when my networking started. By the time I hit 20-something, I had a production deal. Publishing, it was a production deal, but out in Chicago. And pretty much we created a little demo, but then that didn't really work out. So I came back to New York, and I took a break. I went to college. I finished my college career.
Where'd you go to college?
St. Francis College.
Oh, okay. See, that's in Brooklyn, right?
Yeah, Brooklyn Heights, a small dreams.
Yeah, I went to SUNY Westbury.
Really? Okay. Yeah, that's in Long Island, no? Yep. Yeah. Damn, you said 2 what?
2 bachelors and a master's.
Oh, wow. You smart.
Yeah, I try. Try to do what I do. And I'm also a member of Phi Beta Sigma fraternity.
Oh, really? Oh, so you was in the frat?
I was in the frat. The dudes, blue and white.
No, I sang everything. I mean, I went to a performing arts school. I went to Tammy Bennett School, Frank Sinatra Performing Arts for high school, too.
I know
yeah, see, I jumped that whole year. I forgot about high school. Yeah, I literally went to his 80th birthday. I had Kevin Spacey as the person that gave us the diploma back then.
Kevin
I know,
Spacey?
But that was before the situation happened. Every time I mention Kevin Spacey, everybody laughs, and I'm like, no, hold on. I'm like, Kevin Spacey was Kevin Spacey then. That was years before.
Well, I mean, from what I understand about Kevin Spacey, you probably wouldn't have been interested in.
Yeah, I was safe. I didn't feel insecure there. But
you might want to holler at your manager, not
you. Thanks. Oh man, Kevin! Shout out to Kevin. But, that was a whole experience to be able to have Tony Bennett come in. He would come in and give us advice. We got to sing with Diana Ross in the U.S. Open, too.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah, so he opened up a lot of doors in that too. When I went to college, I kind of towed a little bit away from the singing for a couple years, and when I came back was in 2015, and that's when I did the release No Such Thing. I met Chris Gotti at the time, which kind of mentored me, and he got Chink's Drugs on the record. So my first single came out when he had the Adventure situation. So we did that. We released the record. That goes out. Then Chinks gets assassinated a couple months later. Remember when? Yep. Yeah. So that was in 2015. R.I.P. Chinks. And then the Mets, I get a call from Citi Field. And they're like, hey, you know, we got your video, because I couldn't go in person. Remember they used to do the once a year that you could go into the stadium and like try out to sing the anthem. Mm-hmm. I never made it. So I was like, you know what, what's the worst that can happen? And I sent them a visual video of like me singing the anthem. Never thinking I was going to get a call. They called me like 7 in the morning the night before, like, hey, so we got your video. Would you want to come in and sing at Citi Field? I'm thinking this thing's a joke. I'm like, nah. They're like, yeah, smart. You want to come? And I was like, psh, done. This was like my dream. So that's when I went in, I did the national anthem. I met a lot of the players. That's how I met Yoenis Cespedes too. And then along the way, he loved my music. So I was like, hey, how about I do a walkout song for you? And he's like, okay, yeah, do it. He's like, if I like it, I'll play it. If I don't, I won't. Never thinking that the next day, and that's when they were setting into playoffs going into World Series, he uses the song, the shit blows up out of proportion. He hits the biggest home run ever. I make tabloids, I make news. I'm on Fox, I'm on Univision, I'm on Daily News front cover, like the little princess of Citi Field. And then they use that song even when they lost for the Tears of Glory. Did you ever saw the Tears of Glory? Mm-hmm. So they actually had to call me to ask for the rights of, can't we use your song to represent, you know, the Tears of Glory and everything that went on with Citi Field and the Mets. So that was kind of cool, because the song was supposed to just represent him, and it kind of turned into like the Mets anthem.
So did they give you anything for you authorizing them to use it, or you just let it go?
You know me. That was 2015. I didn't know. I didn't know better then.
I'm like, damn, you should have got some tickets or something.
Yeah. Oh, no, but Yoenis used to give me those. I saw the whole World Series front up. Okay. And I had 4 tickets. Every game of the World Series, I was right in the front. So we had those. Like, everything was comped. So that was a good time.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
But I've done a lot of shows there. I'm trying to think everything, and I'm like, oh my God, it's been a lot. And then at some point, I got a little sick of just all the politics of the industry. Mm-hmm. So again, I said, you know what? I'm staying away from this industry. Somehow, some way, here I am again, but in Latin, which was something that everyone always told me, why don't you sing Spanish music? And I said, originally, that's how I started singing. When I was younger, the first thing I sang was Spanish. It wasn't English, but I became in love with English. And then
Are you born here or you born in DR?
So I was actually the only one born in DR.
Okay.
There's another story to that.
Are you from the country or the capital?
No, the capital. Okay. I look country. You're trying to throw me. You're like, girl, you're from the country. I know you're from the country.
No, I'm just saying. I'm just asking. You know, Dominicans are very clear about where they're from.
Yeah,
they're from the country or the
Domingo, la capital.
So let me ask you, what's the best way to describe your music?
Fun, sassy, very independent in a sense, like very woman. You know what I'm saying? Like, I definitely represent for all the queens out there, and just owning your sexuality, owning your beauty, owning your power, owning everything that women is. I would say that's what represents it.
Okay. What was the process picking the song that you just released? Baby Sota?
Baby Sota.
Baby Sota.
Ooh, so that was a whole collaboration of me and both of my managers, Eddie and Max, actually.
So you have 2 managers?
Yeah, they're brothers.
They're brothers?
Yeah.
Los hermanos.
Los hermanos. Yeah, los hermanos. But it was interesting because between all of us, we just wrote the record. And we were listening to it, and then Max out of nowhere starts beatboxing, which we found it weird. He literally started, like, with his mouth, like, doing the beat. Like, the beat should be like this. So I always had this joke, and I'd be like, oh, Max produciendo. Because, like, even though he's not a producer, like, he literally created the sound in his head. And it was just kind of collaborating it. And Bebe Sota, in a really funny way, literally talks about me. Have you heard it?
Yeah, I listened to all the songs.
So what do you think about Bebe Sota? You don't think it's me?
It is. You know what the one I like though?
Sola.
The one where you flip it on the guy.
That's the Desquite. That's my manager.
Oh, that's you flipping on the guy? I like that one.
Yeah, el Desquite.
Ahora se desquite, ahora se desquite. Salgo y punto con mi corillo junta, con plata pa' bote.
I like that one. I like all the music. That one kind of jumped to me. And I'm gonna do this on camera now. So you know what I think would be a dope record for you? I've always been a fan of the Aventura record, where him and what was the other dude, Don Omar. Remember Jimmy's?
Yeah.
I always thought there should be a female version of two females talking like that. And
But then
because the record is so dated, to reintroduce it and from a female perspective, because let's be real, two females, they could, that would be dope to kind of flip it and have two females. Kind of, you sitting there now, you got to tell your girl, your home girl, your best friend, that
dating her man.
Dating her man. So think about that, right?
That's a dope
I'm just
idea.
saying, and it's a universal thing. It has nothing to do with just being Latino. It's it's.
Come on, the boy is mine.
Yeah, exactly.
Randy and Monica did it years ago.
But it's a little more intense because that was more like, the boy is mine.
Yeah, and they weren't friends, nothing. This is my home
This
girl.
is like, and people can feel that. I think that.
Well, her husband actually, remember, it wasn't just a girlfriend.
No, it was the husband,
Yeah,
and this dude is in the house with him.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So, as I was looking at your music, I'm like, she should actually do something like that. That'd be dope.
I like that idea.
So, on camera, I said it first. I don't want to
but you're about to be like, about to come and be like, I saw that shit just
I'm like, son, where my points at?
Yeah, where my points at? I saw that shit just blew up. What's up? You're not going to give me no credit?
You know what I mean? No, but I think it would be dope. You should talk to your team. I think that would definitely be a dope thing for you. And it'd be creative, right? Because nobody's doing something like that. And the record is so dated that...
Yeah, it is. No, I like it. And it's funny that you mentioned, Romeo and stuff. Because then if you notice, all the songs I've had, they're kind of, the first one was a little hip-hop-ish, sort of. And I did that purposely. Then the other records were more on the reggaeton side. So Bebesota is like playero, right? You would say like playero from back in the day with the little mix, and then it has that tum 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 tum. Remember that? And then it kicks in. But the next record that's coming out by Lemos, that one's about to be a problem, and it's kind of mixed of like a bachata, like what you were just saying with the Romeo, but it's mixed. Like I can't even explain that.
Excited to hear that.
I'm so excited. Like, you don't know, like I'm in the midst of Bebesota and everybody's loving it, so I'm super excited for all the love, but I'm like dying to release Bailemos.
What message do you want to send your fans?
Empowerment. Empowerment again. The biggest message to me is empowerment and confidence. Like always stay confident, always stay empowered and believe in yourself and who you are and what you want to be, and be okay with being your genuine self. Every record I bring out, I'm really being me. You know what I'm saying? I'm not playing a part. I'm not putting this. I'm really not scared to be vulnerable enough to show people this is me. And these are my experiences, or this is the experiences I've seen in somebody else. And I'm portraying it. I'm not scared to be myself. I feel like a lot of people now are like hidden or scared to really be themselves, just to kind of blend with the crowd. And that's what I want. I want people to become empowered. Like find their power, find them, be themselves, come out, be confident. That's what I believe my music, really what I want for my fans to understand with it.
Okay. Do you play any instruments?
So, I used to play piano, and I say used to because it's been so many years. Like so many years. I'm sure if I took a couple refreshing classes, I could get back, but I used to play when I was a kid.
Yeah, I did. I love the piano too. I learned how to play Lady. I love that song. I thought that song was like super, super dope.
I used to play the little Beethovens and stuff, the classical.
But have you ever heard Lady?
Which one?
Lady, you're my everything.
Oh yeah, okay, I heard that.
Yo, that
Just
song.
singing.
It was written by Lionel Richie.
That I didn't know.
Yeah, so Kenny Rogers, he wrote it for him. So that's why it sounds like, and there's another one called Feelings, and it sounds the same, and people used to wonder why, because it's the same writer for it. But either way, that was my joint,
I like that. I'm gonna go listen to it when I get home.
I'm telling you, it's a beautiful song. Like, I think that any gentleman that's trying to court a woman, if you sing her that song.
Is that what you be using? Because you just started singing that.
Nah, I don't be singing. I normally, we're going to edit that out the interview.
Is that what you be singing?
Nah, man, I'm good.
That was a good one.
So, if you could perform live with any artist, who would it be and why?
Dead or alive? Anybody?
Anybody. It could be
Celine.
present. Celine, why?
Oh my God, she's the best. She was my favorite. She was literally the person that inspired me even when I was 5. Like, she was like my ultimate inspiration. I thought she had it all. She could dance, she could sing, she could move, she was beautiful. Naturally, too, she was very natural on stage. The girl didn't even need dancers. She could go up there and just brighten up the whole stage. And so that's the type of energy I want around me. And that voice and stuff. Like, I think it would be a very fun performance.
When you're in the studio, what is the process? Like, what is it like? What, like some people, they gotta get high, they gotta do this, they gotta have candles, they gotta have a glass of this. They got. What is your process when you're actually in the studio making music?
Whiskey on ice with honey. So I'll whisk the honey in the whiskey first, and then put like a little ice cube.
Un tigre.
Sí, se chile whisky, un tiguerazo, eso es un tiguerazo.
Wow. Whiskey?
Yeah, whiskey puro. Sometimes I won't put the ice depending, but sometimes I need a little ice, and I put it with honey, a little bit of manuka honey and whiskey.
Okay.
The whiskey with the honey, one, it tastes lemon, but it also keeps you warm. And it also warms you up so you can loosen up in the studio, but you won't get drunk. See that? I like no lights. So this is where people are like, what is she, like a vampire? I'd be like, everything turn off, like it has to be blackout. I don't like lights. If it's, a little bit of light on the outside, that's cool, but it has to be minimal so I don't see it through the screen.
Yeah, I'm like that. You know what? I really don't like a lot of light. Like when I'm in the house,
I'm always in
I'll
darkness.
turn off. Yeah, I like just to keep everything dark.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's my thing. So I feel you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What's your sign?
Aquarius.
Aquarius.
Yeah.
Okay. You all right. You all right.
Oh, God. What's your sign?
I'm the greatest sign they could possibly
What is this,
be.
a Leo?
No.
Because that's what Leo says every time. Every
No.
time I hear Leo, they be like, yeah.
Without my sign, everybody would be lost.
What is it?
Think about it. Without my sign, every sign would be lost.
Aquarius?
No. I'm a Libra.
Oh, no. But see,
We
we're
keep
air signs.
everything, we
So
keep
that's
everything
cool.
in balance.
You're
That's
part
why
of,
we're the scared.
they are the most unbalanced people I've
Not
been
me.
seeing. Them Libras be out here. I be looking at them like, oh my God. It's almost like
The guys or the
opposite.
girls? Which one you referring to?
Well, I did more with the girls.
That's why.
Yeah. Oh, God.
See?
But I don't know, we're air signs, so we're still in the family. It's all good.
Mm-hmm.
See, I knew you had some air to you.
Talk to me about your second record.
Which one?
What motivated that?
Desquite?
Mm-hmm.
So, El Desquite is literally, and this record can be taken however you want it.
Mm-hmm.
El Desquite is a record about a female, right? And right now, I'm looking at my manager because I know he's looking at me like, here we go again. We all have a different perception of why El Desquite means this. So, El Desquite means revenge in Spanish, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not really a revenge record. And this is the part that we're all back and forth. Because they're like, it is revenge. I'm like, it's not revenge. Why? El Desquite is about a female that got her power back. The breakup is done. It was a rough, toxic relationship. She finally let go of this man, and she finally understands that it was not her.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Because when you get into those relationships, but the other person makes you feel like it was you always.
Mm-hmm.
So you're finally over it. You're finally realizing, oh my God, I'm so much better without him. Ever since he left, well, since I kicked him out, but ever since I left,
Mm-hmm.
everything has gotten better for me. I'm making more money. My skin is glowing. I look great. I lost weight. Success is coming. Everything that I want is coming for me. I'm having a great time. I'm no longer sad. I'm traveling. I'm with the girls. That's what that record is saying. So it's technically, if a guy saw it, oh, she's doing this for revenge. But she's not, because she's genuinely glowing. She's genuinely moving on out. You see it as, this is my revenge. And in a sense, it kind of is. Because my revenge is that I'm way better without you. And
So,
you
okay,
can't
so when
handle
you say revenge, right? Okay, so my understanding of revenge is I'm getting you back. So are you doing something to this other person in the song? Or are you just glorifying the fact that you've been
Yeah, that I'm chilling and I'm saying I'm partying, I'm no longer sad, I'm outside, I'm making so much money, I'm living my dreams, I'm doing whatever I want, I no longer have you holding me down.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm saying, and I laugh at you now because he's calling, remember, he's calling and texting me and trying to get me back the whole song. And I'm like, get out. I'm like, I don't want nothing to do with it. So I'm like, isn't it funny? It's almost like karma. And this is why I'm against the revenge, but it is, but it's not. You get what I'm saying?
I understand. I mean, it for me...
Because revenge is like hardcore. Revenge means you're still bitter. This person is not. This person is over it. They're not trying to do it purposely.
Well,
it's
for
just,
me, revenge speaks to I'm trying to get you back. So, and I'm trying to hurt you. So you... See, here's the thing. For a record like that, you're really the only knower. Because if you're doing what you're doing to get that person back, then you are introducing revenge.
See what I'm saying?
Even if you're not doing nothing like stopping them money-wise or whatever, but you shining solely for one of the main purposes is to hurt that person because you know that hurts that person and that's revenge. If you're shining because you genuinely want to be that woman and you're just happy and you wish and you truly
I got
wish
my
them
power
well.
back. The ball's on my court.
But that's what I'm saying. It's hard to tell because
See that?
only God knows. See, I
The
don't know
real
if you believe
intention.
in God or whatever.
I do
don't know if
believe
you
in
do.
God.
Okay, so only God knows whether you are actually doing what you're doing for real for you or you doing it to hurt them. And that's pretty much the one you're going to have to pay That's the one you're going to have to pay the piper to when
Yeah.
you get to those pearly gates. Because God is going to say, I know why you did what you did. And
Exactly.
you did that to hurt that person.
But see, and then this kid that she didn't do it to hurt that person. He's taking it as it. You get on his perception, he's like, this, what is this, your revenge? Like, you're not picking up. And in a sense, in the song, I'm actually stating, I'm laughing at the shit you saying to me. Because I don't care no more. I'm taking a shot to that and laughing at you right now. Like, you're beneath me. So in a sense, she's mocking him, but she's not doing it purposeful.
Okay.
So that's why it gets a little, that's why everybody would go on a debate, like, it's revenge. And I'm like, but it's not. It seems like it. Like you even said,
Well,
you
that's the
pointed
beautiful
out.
part about music, right?
Yeah.
It's like art. It's abstract. Everybody will embrace a song the way they want to embrace
Yep.
it. For you as the artist, you just want them to embrace it.
Yep.
So whatever it means to you can mean this to you, can mean this to you, can mean this to you.
And that's
So
what
really
I-
nobody's wrong, you
Yeah.
know. It could mean that or it could mean that. But you definitely want to make sure that it's streaming.
Yeah, no, you know what's funny? When the song came out, I had like 5 homegirls hit me up like, girl, you wrote that song after me? And I was like, oh, hell no. I know y'all don't think I wrote this after y'all experience. Like, this is a global issue. A lot of women, once you get through that very toxic relationship and you break up and you finally find your power, so it's something that everybody can relate to.
So was that record written so it wasn't written in reference to a relationship you had or what?
It was towards one that I had recent, but I won't be mentioning anything or no names
Well,
or
no, we don't- I
nothing.
don't-
All
I
right,
don't wanna
just
know
in
the
case you're
names.
trying to sneak me into saying some more information. But
Listen.
yeah, pass.
Is that why you don't want no wine? I'm not trying to get you drunk so you're like, ese pendejo
Ese
hicieron esto.
asqueroso.
Nah, that's
No,
not
no,
what
no.
that's not what we doing. I'm just asking you.
Yeah, no,
because
it was.
generally music
It
is
was.
it comes from someplace.
Yep,
You
no,
know
it
what I mean?
was. It was.
Okay.
And there's always that part of, when things turn around and balls in your
So how
court.
long was that situation? Was it like a year? Was it 2 years?
Believe it or not, it was just a
3?
couple months, but it felt like forever.
Okay. So what advice do you have to someone who's gone through what you've gone? So you're considering that relationship toxic?
It was so toxic.
It was so toxic. Okay. And what made you decide that you wanted to leave that situation?
It was too toxic. The energy was off. It was messing
Like
with
what
my
told
energy.
you that now? Because you stood there for a while, right?
No.
So when it turned toxic, you didn't just bounce.
Maybe like within a month. I gave it that shot for like a month, and within that month, I was like, I gotta go. So I'm one of those people, once I see that red flag and once I see that toxicity coming in, there's no turning back out of that
But
toxicity.
what's the red flag? Like what tells? And again, understand when people watch this and people see you.
There's different red flags. So
Okay.
it depends what the situation in that relationship is. Because there's different levels of toxicity.
Okay.
There's different types. There's
Mhm.
narcissistic toxicity. There's jealousy toxicity. There's, abusive toxicity, which thank God I've never had that. But it depends on the toxicity the female's dealing with. But I say is that the minute whatever doesn't stand right by your moral or stand right by you, the minute that's starting to get altercated, or the minute you don't have peace, or the minute you're not happy, you need to get out. Simple. Just get out. The minute that your energy every day, if 3 days in a row you're waking up with bad energy, you gotta get out. That's when you know what I'm saying? You'll know, like, your intuition tells you, like, it's time to go. But you gotta live through the emotions. Because I've seen people that they're not ready to go, even though they're living through it. They gotta live through that emotion until they're ready to go. Because if they don't, they'll return right back.
And that's why I asked the question. I said, at what point did you realize, yo, I gotta go. I can't even work this out.
Once I felt it, that's it.
Okay.
It was a couple weeks
then
in.
So you actually got lucky.
It's
Because
not
you
luck,
identified
it's
it.
all a choice.
Well, you identified it early.
Yeah.
So
But-
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Some people actually say, you know what, maybe I'm reading this wrong.
No, you
But
can't.
you
You can't
didn't.
second guess your intuition. That's the problem.
Okay.
Everybody second guesses what their gut tells them. If you listen to your gut, there's no failing. You don't think people just kind of like second guess their gut or like maybe this, maybe. Once you do
Well,
it,
that's my
maybe, run. You run.
So that's my point. Some people, but some people are impatient. They may misread something. Like we all misunderstand something,
Yes.
right? We can misunderstand passion for someone, right? And be like, well,
Love,
like,
lust, like all
yeah,
those things are
like, oh,
confusing.
this guy's being
Obsession.
jealous, or maybe they're just caring. They've never had that training. Or the female, they've never had that kind of training on how to be with somebody.
Yeah.
So do I help train them on how to be with me and help them understand me? So there's a combination of things. That's why I asked you.
Yeah.
Because I think that as people listen and begin to meet you as the artist, they need to know the artist. And I don't just want to talk about songs here. Oh, you did this song, that's great, and you know this person. I want
Yeah.
them to know exactly who you are. This is why. And again, your words here might actually help another young woman or woman through what she's going to. By watching this may trigger something in her, or a male, right?
Yeah, no, it could be both. It could
So
be both.
this is
Males
why-
could be in toxicity too.
So this is why those kind of conversations are important.
The big thing is following that intuition.
Understood. Who's your favorite singer of all time, and what about them makes them great? I know you said Selena.
Selena again.
Hey, Selena again? Okay.
Yeah, no, I love Selena. Like, love Selena. It's just, it's rare to find a talent like that. The girl could sing English, she could sing Spanish, she could dance, she could move, and she was so natural. Like, it was almost a shame that her life was cut so short.
You started off in English.
I did. No, well, this is the weird part. Technically, I started singing in Spanish. The songs that I would sing as a kid, like 3 years old, was Spanish songs.
No, but when the public, when I said the
English.
public identifies you, in the beginning it was English. So, I can only go for public perception because that's what you put out, right? Internally, you probably were doing all these different things.
Mm-hmm.
So, do you plan to do any other types of music besides Latino music?
I would like to do crossover again. Yep, and go back to the English and then mix it and do both.
You confident enough on the English side?
Oh yeah.
So which one do you think is better for you? Because you quickly, even when I spoke to you in the past, you're like, oh, I don't know, I'm just gonna stick with the Latino right now. And I'm like, it kind of was that. I'm like, why?
Well, in the past I wasn't a Latino. When you met me, I was in English.
I know, but no, we spoke. I don't know if you remember.
Oh, a couple months back?
Yeah, a while back. And I said, you was like, and you had told me this before. You was like, yeah, I'm starting to think about more Latino music.
Yeah.
And I think I'm going to start doing Spanish, English. And then we had a conversation about you coming and making a special appearance someplace. And I know you expressed, and I was like, well, there's some key people. And you're like, well, I do Spanish. And at that point, we didn't get to have it because I was rushing and you were rushing.
You always on the move.
So off camera, I think we just spoke and, I think we went in a little more detail. But so you do want to come back to the English side and kind of, because Selena,
tackle both.
what was
she
Selena?
went to cross over to English. So Selena's very, you know what it is? Maybe I identify myself very much with Selena. The only difference is that I started in English. She wanted to do English, but she did. Selena, even though she was building up the market more in the Latin since young, she was also singing in English. She used to do shows in English on TV growing up 16 as Selena. She'll throw a song or two because in the end, what she wanted was English. Just that the Latin accepted her quicker. And then
I remember because I'm also a fan of Selena. I remember that her family, her father, was terrified for her to do a Latin show one time. And it's because her Spanish was so
really
horrible.
bad, yeah.
And he said that the Latin community would eat her alive.
Yeah. When she went to Univision, that's why Univision is a tough one. The people that I interviewed with, they're tough. Even when I went, I was like, let my Spanish come out good. Did you watch that interview with Univision?
I did.
They're tough. They're tough.
Yeah, I'm like, couldn't be me. I'm like, gato, moroto, coneto, coneato.
Gato, gato. Perro, quiero algo. Yo soy niño.
Sometimes, bro, it's crazy. I don't know. That's it. What's the most trouble you ever got into? And do you still get in trouble?
I always get in trouble because I'm super rebel, but I can't think right now. I'm trying to think like, what is the most trouble I've gotten into? Ooh, I don't know.
Well, you gotta open up to us here. We gotta know you. You want me to download that record? I need
See,
to
this is the weird thing. Like, I'm super rebel, but I'm good. Like, I behave very well, and I don't get caught if I do stuff that I'm not supposed to be doing. I'm trying to think. I'm really trying to think. But see, now I'm thinking of like teenage days when I would try to sneak in and get home late.
And you're from Jersey?
No, Queens.
You're from Corona, Queens.
Corona, Queens.
Why do I always think Jersey?
I don't know. I get all types of things, really. People be like, Bronx. They be like, Dykeman. I'm like, that's so stereotypical. Like, no, I'm from Queens.
Corona, Queens.
Yeah. Man, I really can't think of the worst trouble I've ever gotten in, so look at that. I'm going to have to leave that as home.
Okay. What is the most favorite place for you in the world? Because you travel a lot.
I do. That's hard. I have too many. I love, obviously, my home country. I love Dominican Republic. Colombia, I'm obsessed with. I loved Mexico. Like, so this year I want to start going to Europe, too, because I haven't done Europe yet. Believe it or not. I've been traveling through all the islands and all these places in Latin America, but I have not done Europe yet. So I can't even give you a full thing, but I really love Mexico. Mexico's up there. Everywhere I go in Mexico, too, is terrible. Like, I went to Isla Mujeres, I loved it. Cabos, I loved it. Riviera Maya, Cancun, Yucatan. Great country.
If the world was to end tomorrow, and you could pick one song that you want the people to remember you by, what is that song and why?
Does it have to be my song or can it be any song?
No, I think it should be your song. The world's about to end tomorrow. You're an artist. You're making music. You have some songs. Why?
Because Sola is really all about me. And Sola is funny. It is my last name, so it's easy to remember me by it too. Which people said you gave the title to your first Latin single to be your last name, and I'm like, yeah, that's the whole point. Sola to me represents me the most. It's the most out of the 3 records that is super empowerment and it's super me. Like I'm saying, you're an independent woman. You're not scared to do nothing. I am on my own, and I'm killing it, and I'm unapologetic about it. That's what I want people to remember. And that song, every lyric, every word it states, that's all it is. Literally says it in the title. Sola. So that literally, like, that is my anthem. Like, that is the Fina anthem.
What's next for your music?
Ooh, I mean, hopefully a lot more Grammys. Getting signed.
So you don't have a fear of being signed?
You know, I used to.
Why? What was
I just kind of felt like, you know, if I get signed, I lose all rights. You know, everything is controlled. I didn't want to be controlled. I wanted to have, you know, a say. I wanted to do the music I wanted to do. But now I see more on the business end. Now I understand more the business end than before when I just wanted to be like this artist. Now I understand, okay, it's not just about what I want and, you know, being this artist. I need to win. And if I need to win, then I need to understand a little bit more on the business. And if you get a little bit of that, then you wouldn't be so scared about signing. It just needs to be correct. So you have negotiations. Can't be scared.
No, I agree with you.
Yeah. Especially if you want to take it to the next level.
Yeah. No, I completely get it. You know, I have to showcase for unsigned artists. You know, when I bring out a lot of the record labels to actually come and observe and see what's going on. And I get that. A lot of artists, they're like, oh, I want to be independent. I don't want to be signed. And we were just talking off camera, and I explained to a lot of artists that you need to be part of that conversation, but there's an interest in it. You can talk all that independence that you want.
Mm-hmm.
If no one is having a conversation about your music and who you are, the gatekeepers, so to speak, then it's gonna go nowhere. You'll only be the voice to you.
You hear it in your shower.
You know what I mean? Yeah.
And your family.
And you'll be doing the same type of stuff. It'll be a 360.
Yep.
You know, and I explain that. So, you know, you don't have to sell your soul. So I've heard artists, oh,
Yeah.
you sign with the label, you sell your soul. So are you telling me that all the greats, that's what they did? You know, you have to have the ability to navigate and understand the business aspect.
That's what I was telling you about. Like, once you understand that and you kind of lose that artist mentality a little bit and just think business, you won't be so scared. It's going to make more sense.
Yeah, and I tell people, let's say you get a three album deal. You know, it's a contract for 3 albums. Now you utilize them the way they utilized you to get to a certain point, and now you're at that point where you can say, do I want to continue or do I want to do this? Now you have more of a playing field, but if you're not even on the field, what's the point?
You're not even in the game. You're not even in the running.
Yeah, so, you know, I get it. Is there anything you absolutely will not do when it comes to music?
Like genre? Like genre, you mean?
Genre, like you won't, you know, there's non-negotiables for a lot of people who are artists and things like that. What is your non-negotiable?
I think I'm open. I'm definitely open. As long as it's all in my morality, then I'm fine.
What do you mean by that? Give me an
For
example of what you're talking about.
I've heard songs that, you know, go against God in a sense, where they throw little things where it's literally saying, I'm with the devil right now. That's never happened. So that type of verbiage will never be in any of my records.
Okay.
I glorify God at all times. And that's not negotiable. Even in image, because I've seen that too in some artists where it's like, the heck happened? They went completely left with this image. I can't do that. Like, you'll never see me on some weird, more on that type of forced imagery, even if it's just for the show. You know, you don't really believe in that. I have to always believe in what I'm doing. So I need that.
So you mentioned, and I have to ask this, right? Because there are tons of guys out here who are going to wonder, what type of man would you like to be with? You sound like you're single. I'm not.
Yo, why do you say like that? I'm out.
I mean, because I don't know. You
know if I'm married or man, or I got a fiance somewhere.
No, but you might be seeing someone on the low. You're just not having that conversation right now. But what type of man does it take to be with you? Because you're in an industry that is not so understanding.
No.
It's not so understanding for people who are just regular people.
That's true.
So, are you looking to be with a guy that's in the entertainment world? Are you looking to be with that 9 to 5 type dude? Like, what are you looking for? And then you travel a lot.
Yeah.
So it's a question here. This girl's in music. She's traveling everywhere. Does she really have time for a relationship? Is that what she wants at this point in her life? Does she not want that? Like, those are the questions that are out there. So, tell us about where you are in that particular sense.
So right now I'm very focused on my career. I'm not against it. You know, if love comes, you can't shut the door on love. Love is what makes the world go round. So I'm not against it. But it's not my focus. My focus right now is my career and just kind of doing things that I love to do. Focus on me, right? However, the type of guy I would like, definitely a boss, entrepreneur. Entertainment, not as much. But if he is within entertainment, I don't go against that either. But I would like more like a business person. You know what I'm saying? Definitely a business person, makes his own schedule, does his own thing, loves to travel, loves to eat, because that's what I love to do. And just like a real man. You know what I'm saying? And when I say that, I really mean it, because there's a lot going on right now. But I'm talking about like an alpha. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I'm very dominant too. So like I need more of a alpha. Otherwise, it's going to be a disaster. And just somebody that knows what they want out of life and is focused and just kind of...
So when you say alpha, though, right? Alphas have a tendency to put their foot down. And when they put their foot down, are you willing to submit to that at points? You see, that's the big question, right?
Yeah, because I remember I track alpha, so I know how alpha is. But that's like... People, and this is what I tell people, if you have a correct leader, you will follow. But most people can't lead, but they want people to follow. That's the problem. But real alphas will know how to lead. And that's why I said, an entrepreneur, these are all people that are going to have those type of qualities. Somebody that knows what he wants, somebody that's settled in with himself. You know, not somebody fighting traumas and all that stuff. Like somebody that's really focused and settled in with himself for what he wants. Because that's where I'm at.
So, I've asked all the questions I need to
You
ask.
sure I'm at? Because, I thought you was going to ask me my social security at this point.
Listen.
I was waiting for you to be like, girl, what's your social? What's that credit card?
You should know. Your team should have known how I get down with these interviews. I ain't going to ask you one or two questions.
Yeah, this is fun.
You know what I mean? We got to find out who you are.
Do you feel like you know me better now?
I think that I have a better understanding of you as an artist and who you are. You know what I mean? I know you, we've had conversations, but... You know, I want to know, and again, I have to ask the questions that people are going to look at when they're looking back and you get to the place where you want to be. And when you start to blow up, and I say, I need that other interview.
I'm going to be like, I'm absolutely not. Be looking at what I gave you. I'm not crazy. Talk to my manager. I'm going to be like this. I'm like, oh, hell no. I'm going to stand like, decline. Like,
we got all that B stuff on the back end, right?
I met got me messed up if you think I'm picking up. I got Grammys now. Now, you know, I would love to come back. And I'll have a lot more to say.
And that's what we hope.
Yes, I'll have a lot more to say. You know, one of the things that I also find funny every time I get interviewed, so I'm not just a singer. One thing that I would love for my career to take into as well is start doing movies, TV, and, see, I posted it the other day, but I'm going to tell you it. I just started also a clothing line called Fighting Demons.
Fighting Demons?
Mm-hmm. So maybe that could be a whole nother interview. It hasn't launched yet, but I'm starting to now put out a little bit so people can start seeing what it's going to start look like and start getting the following on the gram, so I can have a little following there before it launches.
So is it going to be guys' clothing and women? Okay. Do you have already samples done up?
I do. I posted one yet. You didn't see the swim?
I did not.
I'm mad. You are the worst follower.
It's hard, man. It's hard.
I'm going to send it to you.
Alright, so you got to let me know when you got a hoodie or something.
Oh, yeah, no. We're going to have a lot of fitness wear for male, very chill stuff. It's going to be fire. The men's apparel actually is really dope, even though, you know, women always win. We always win. But the men's stuff is real nice.
That's the empowering part of you, right?
Yeah. We got to. We run this world. Listen to Beyonce.
So I want you to let everybody know your handles so they can get at you.
Yes. So follow me on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube at Fina Musique. And that's FINA MUSIQ. I always gotta remember people. It's with a Q, not a C, y'all. Fina Musique.
Oh, I got one question before we get out of here.
Yes.
Why the nickname Fina?
Because I'm Josephina.
Is that why you just?
Yeah.
It wasn't no like.
Well, you know what it is? My dad and my sisters used to always call me Fina as a kid. And I changed. I have the craziest artist names growing up. Like, seriously, I went through it all. But one day I said,
What was the most craziest artist name you was gonna name yourself?
Baby J.
Baby J.
And then I was
You playing
Dynamite
on
J.
rapping or something?
Oh, I was rapping. I was like 11. But I was rapping and singing. It was crazy. But I was Baby J. I was Dynamite J. I was La Fina J. Like, seriously, we don't even want to talk about, oh, little meow meow. Don't even ask about that. Don't even ask about that. That's a whole nother story. Like, that probably takes the cake. Little meow meow.
Yeah, it does.
Yes. Like, what? He's even laughing. He's like, oh, man, that's bad.
And
But one day I just discovered you have a great nickname. Fina. And by the way, they can check out all my songs on, all the digital platforms. Fina. I didn't put the music in the platforms, which I sometimes think about like, damn, did I mess up?
So here's what I want to do at this point. I want to go to your latest music video. What is it called?
In this key thing.
In this key thing. So we're going to go to it right now. I want everybody to check it out.
A casa no quiero llegar. Ahora es el de quite, ahora es el de quite. Ando pensando en el daño que me hiciste. Hoy celebro que te fuiste. Fuiste tú el que lo dañaste. Ahora te jodiste. Ya no ando sola, rumbeo, no estoy triste. Ahora soy yo quien te coge a ti de chiste. Me tomo un shot y río de lo que dijiste. Qué rico el de quite. Ahora te jodiste. Ya no ando sola, rumbeo, no estoy triste. Ahora soy yo quien te coge a ti de chiste. Me tomo un shot y río de lo que dijiste. Qué rico el de quite. Qué rico el de quite. Me trepo a donde quiero ahora. Me conviene estar sola. Ahora es el de quite, ahora es el de quite. Salgo y punto con mi corillo junta. Con plata pa' botella, el vapor está que abunda. Los gatos nos ven, las costosas de la junta. Mi brillo no se arruina, jamás y nunca. Oh. No necesito un rey, mi trago lo pago yo. Oh. No caigo dos veces en la misma situación. Ando pensando en el daño que me hiciste. Con la clica tía, ando encendida. Disfruto todo, está en mi vida. Yo soy una shorty que le encanta la salida. Llama al cantinero que me traiga la bebida. Con la do prendida, ando encendida. Disfruto todo, esta es mi vida. Ando acompañada de mi amiga y las activas. La do prendida con la do prendida. Ahora te jodiste, ya no ando sola, rumbeo, no estoy triste. Ahora soy yo que te encoge a ti de chiste. Me tomo un shot y río de lo que dijiste. Qué rico el de quite. Qué rico el de quite. Me trepo donde quiero ahora. Me conviene estar sola. Ahora es el de quite, ahora es el de quite. Con la do prendida, ando encendida. Disfruto todo, está en mi vida. Ando acompañada de mi amiga y la sativa. Con la do prendida, con la do prendida. Me trepo donde quiero ahora. Me conviene estar sola. Ahora es el de quite, ahora es el de quite. Lincoln, Maximilian, dímelo Eddie. Fina. La victoriosa claramente soy yo. Todos saben que antes de él voy yo. La que dio más aquí obviamente soy yo. Oh. No necesito un rey, mi trago lo pago yo. Oh. No caigo dos veces en la misma situación. Ahora te jodiste, ya no ando sola, rumbeo, no estoy triste. Ahora soy yo que te encoge a ti de chiste. Me tomo un shot y río de lo que dijiste. Qué rico el de quite. Qué rico el de quite.
So I want to thank you for hanging out with me today.
Thank you, oh man. I had so much fun.
I'm glad. And we definitely want to see you back with that plaque.
I'll see if I could, put you into my schedule, man. I don't promise nothing.
Here goes the booziness. Here we
Yeah, I
go.
don't know if I promise. I mean, at least, you know, I need like a, I don't know, like a Moet or something the next time.
Yo, you don't want to drink.
I'm all drinked out. I'm all drinked out. I need water.
I got you.
It's a good summer. It's a good summer.
Travels industry, home of new music and entertainment. I want to thank you for hanging out with us today.
Thank you so much for having
You
me.
awesome.
Besitos.